You've heard the phrase, truth is stranger than fiction, right? Well, today, we're proving it. Because some of the wildest conspiracy theories in history, the kind your uncle would whisper about over a beer, actually turned out to be completely real. From secret government experiments to industries literally poisoning people for profit, these stories remind us that sometimes the conspiracy theorists were the only ones paying attention. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the world of crazy historical conspiracies that actually happened. Let's start with one of the most infamous, MK Ultra. Sounds like a Marvel villain, right? Except this one was real and funded by the CIA. In the 1950s and 60s, during the Cold War, the US government became obsessed with the idea of mind control. They feared the Soviets had found a way to brainwash prisoners. So the CIA decided to do the same, experimenting with LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and even electroshock therapy on unknowing civilians. They tested soldiers, prisoners, psychiatric patients, even random people at bars, slipping LSD into drinks without consent. For 2 decades, this project ran in secret. It only came to light in the 1970s, when investigative journalists uncovered classified files. And even then, much of it had been destroyed by the CIA itself. A government agency literally tried to hack the human mind. And for years, anyone who talked about it was called a crazy conspiracy theorist. Turns out, they were just early. Crazy, right? Let's move on. Picture this. It's the 1950s. Everyone smokes. Cigarettes are glamorous, cool, and apparently doctor approved. Except, inside the boardrooms of tobacco companies, executives already knew that cigarettes cause cancer. Internal memos later revealed they spent decades funding fake research, manipulating public opinion, and buying scientists to cast doubt on the truth. They even coined a strategy called "doubt is our product." As long as they could confuse the public, they could keep selling cigarettes. So when people in the 60s started saying, "Hey, I think big tobacco is lying to us," they were brushed off as paranoid. Fast forward to the 1990s, after massive lawsuits, and we found out those paranoid people were completely right. It's one of the biggest public deceptions in modern history, and it worked for over 40 years. This next one sounds like the script of a political thriller, but it was real, and it came straight from the US military. In 1962, top Pentagon officials proposed a plan called Operation Northwoods. The idea? To justify a war against Cuba, they suggested staging terrorist attacks on American soil and blaming them on Fidel Castro. The plan included fake plane hijackings, bombings, and even staged funerals, all designed to manipulate public opinion and create support for war. Luckily, President Kennedy rejected it, and the plan was buried. But decades later, declassified documents revealed just how close the US came to attacking itself for political gain. And remember, for years, anyone claiming the government staged false flag operations was ridiculed. Then Operation Northwoods came to light, and suddenly the line between crazy theory and terrifying truth blurred just a bit more. Not all conspiracies are born in the shadows of war. Some happen right in plain sight, disguised as medical research. From 1932 to 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service ran a study in Tuskegee, Alabama. They promised hundreds of poor black men free health care, but in reality, they were denied treatment for syphilis so scientists could study how the disease progressed untreated. Even after penicillin became a cure, doctors still refused to treat them. Dozens died, families were infected, and generations were scarred, all while the government quietly took notes. It only ended when a whistleblower exposed it to the media, 40 years later. It's hard to believe something so cruel could happen under official supervision, but it did. And it's a chilling reminder that trust the system isn't always simple. When we hear the word conspiracy, we often imagine tinfoil hats and wild-eyed theories on internet forums. But history shows us sometimes the crazy ones were just the first to notice something wrong. Now, that doesn't mean every theory you see online is true, far from it. But it does mean we should stay curious, ask questions, and remember, Skepticism is healthy, as long as it's grounded in evidence. So, which of these stories shocked you the most? Or do you know another wild conspiracy that turned out to be true? Drop it in the comments. I read them all. I'm Mike, and this was Crazy Historical Conspiracies That Turned Out to Be True. Hit that like button if you want a part 2. And remember, sometimes history really is stranger than fiction.